Hello everyone. We'll do a live press conference in here and then there'll be a huddle at the end of the mixed zone for the Irish media only. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So Nathan, do you want to get us started, please?
Heimir, how do you explain what happened in that second half?
Well, I'm kind of lost for words. 6 minutes of kind of madness. It was a shock. Conceding a penalty, conceding a goal, losing a player. But we probably lost our heads at this moment, leading into a second goal and a third goal. And from there, you can see we maybe lost our head, gave up. We've talked, and I said before, we're struggling with confidence, and they clearly took away all confidence from what we did really well in the first half. You cannot explain things like this. It just happened, slap in the face, and it was difficult to come back from it.
Is it worrying though, as a manager, you're sitting here talking about players giving up, losing their heads?
Say again?
Is it worrying as a manager that something like that can happen, that the players give up, that they lose their heads?
Yeah, it's easy to sit or stand on the sideline and criticise. You know, after the first half, coming in our first half, you know, it's a game like we wanted it to be. You know, we're defending compact. They didn't find ways to play through us, and then coming in second half so early, conceding the goal, losing a player, conceding another one. It's easy to criticise when you're standing outside or watching the game from the stands. I think in a way it's normal, but look, excuses when you lose 5-0 is kind of pathetic. To be excusing or talking about positives is embarrassing to lose 5-0.
It was always going to be a game where you probably struggled to create chances. So that moment in the first half when Evan Ferguson went down and the penalty wasn't given, have you watched it back? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought it was a penalty for sure. We asked, I don't remember what the referees said, why they didn't give it, but of course that would have changed the momentum in the game. But again, I don't want to make excuses. But first half was good. Let's take that as a positive, building this team forward. We need to play teams like England that probably have better players than us. And first half gave us an idea how we can play against teams like that.
Gavin Cooney, please.
Hi, Heimir. When you say the players gave up, what do you mean?
No, I mean we kind of lost what we were doing in the first half. Maybe it's too harsh to say give up, but like I said, it's easy to criticise when you're not playing the game. We had a game plan; it was working perfectly, and all of a sudden, in 6 minutes, there's no way out. It's 3-0, one man down against a good team like England. So it's kind of a shock, and I didn't feel that we had any way out from there, and it was just limit the damage as much as we could.
How serious are the confidence issues in this team, and do you worry that you won't be able to improve them?
Well, if we can play like this 50 minutes, let's hope that next game at least we can do it longer, and with a little luck. If we would have gotten a penalty, scoring a goal, it's just a totally different game. It's psychological advantage to us instead of the different scenario we had today. But no, I believe in these guys. But the past has been tough. So we just need to kind of use this to our advantage. Look at what we can take positive from this game. It was a lot of negative, but let's. For me, it's important to just look at the positives and build from that.
Neil, please.
Heimir, you couldn't have foreseen the consequences of it, but the fact that Liam Scales' first yellow card is for kicking the ball away, is that a real sense of annoyance for you? Source of annoyance?
No, we say that every meeting. Don't get silly yellow cards. First and foremost, because we want to have our best players on the pitch. And in this tournament, for example, 2 yellow cards is a suspension. We are missing 90 today because of 2 yellow cards. We obviously, all coaches would like to have the best players on the pitch. I don't know if it was fair, but I know he took the ball away, so probably trying to kill time and get himself back. I think it was after a set piece or something.
Dan, please.
Heimir, I appreciate the second half is very fresh in the mind now, but can I just ask the use of Nathan Collins in the first half in that role, was that something you'd planned for some time, or is it something that just this week you formulated, and did you see enough from that it's something you could do again, potentially in the future?
Yeah, I thought that worked, that set up the tactics we play first half against a good team like England. I think it fits the profile of the players we were using, and it fits the way England is playing. They have players dropping into that zone. It's like we knew Harry Kane was playing. That's his style of play. He kind of drags the centre backs away. Now we had kind of a centre back in that space, so he covered really well these runs, and they didn't play in the first half through our block. They needed to go outside, a little bit like when we played Greece. They played outside of our block, and then I think we didn't create a lot of opportunities to score. We didn't use the time we won the ball. We didn't use that well, but I think it was a try worth taking, and let's see if we build on that.
Finally, Ed.
Heimir, obviously after the red card there was a natural. You had the players on the pitch that would just reset and fill in for Liam. But with the second goal, especially coming so quickly, did you consider making a change just to get a message onto the pitch? Is there anything you could have done to just stop that relentless English pressure?
No, it happened really quickly. I wrote it down. It was 52nd minute, the first goal. Nathan Collins is just dropping, so we played a 4-4-1-1, or 4-4-1, sorry. And then 2 minutes later, so it was kind of little chance to change tactics or throw in players. And then the third goal was 58, so 52, 54, 58. And then after this first half, I know physically it's difficult to play defending all the time physically, but then you could see this mentally it was tough as well. So for that reason we made a triple change just to get fresh heads and fresh players, fresh legs in to fight for the rest of the game, because physically and mentally it was a shock for everyone.
All right, thank you.
Did I answer the question? Sorry, was it?
Yeah. We'll have a huddle for the Irish media at the end of the mix zone. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Join Lee Carsley with the microphone available if you can use that. Just let Alex out.
Hi Lee, congratulations. That's the objective complete of promotion back to the Nations League. How do you feel now you've done that, and how you've left things for Thomas Tuchel going forward?
Yeah, I think to be fair to say there's a bit of relief. It's, I suppose if we'd have spoke at the start of the campaign, we probably would have said, well, you're expected to get promotion, but it's difficult. No team has rolled over for us and let us just carry on. I found it challenging personally. I know the rest of the staff have. So it's good that we've finished the campaign with such a strong performance. I spoke to the players at half time at 0-0. I was really happy with the way the crowd responded to the players as they went off the pitch. You could tell that they could feel the energy from the team, the way, the intent that we played with, the aggression, especially when we lost the ball. I said to them at half time, we were going to score. I've got total belief that you're going to score, so just keep going. It was pleasing to obviously get 5 goals.
That's it, Henry. Cheers.
Lee, congratulations. The FA and Mark Bullingham have just released a statement saying that you are going to give Thomas Tuchel a very detailed handover, I think they call it. Is that a meeting, a very long WhatsApp? Is that a chat? How does that work?
Yeah, I'm trying to put together, along with the rest of the staff, we'll debrief the three camps, not just this camp. So I'll put together a document and then I'll hopefully go and meet him and almost present what we think and what we found. And the job is for us as an under-21 staff is to support the senior manager as much as we can. So find out what he needs and how we can help. And I'm really comfortable as the rest of the staff are with that role. So I look forward to meeting him now in the next few weeks.
Lee, appreciate what you've just said, and I'm sure it will be extremely useful what you pass on. But even if Thomas had been at the last two games as a spectator, from a coaching perspective, do you think it would have been worthwhile him watching those last two matches?
In terms of?
Well, in terms of what he could have learned.
Well, he's a top coach, isn't he? He's an elite coach, so I'm not sure what he could have learned. I'm sure you can always learn something, especially about the players in the environments that we played in Greece was very, very challenging in terms of the atmosphere. We obviously had a couple of debuts as well, so the mentality that they showed. So. Spoke about not only gaining promotion from the Nations League, but to potentially increase the pool of players that Thomas has got to choose from. So the challenge now for the players that have been involved for the last three camps is to be in and around the March squad. So, but a lot of them have done themselves a lot of good in terms of. Enhancing their reputation, the ability to play in the England senior team and to gain a cap is no mean feat. So I'm really proud for a lot of them. So I'm sure he would have learnt something.
Jacob,
Lee, obviously Harry Kane back in the team tonight. But great pass to win the penalty, gets the goal. What did you make of him tonight?
I thought it was good. I think the example he leads by, his leadership qualities, his quality in terms of the pass for the goal for Jude. It was an unbelievable pass. And his all-round game was good. I think we complimented him quite well with the amount of runs that Jude was making off him and the explosiveness of both the wide players as well. So all-round good performance.
Lee, talking of the handover, obviously being England manager is a very attractive job for a lot of reasons, but how much more attractive do you think you succeeded in making it with blooding these players over these three camps?
Well, I think it's I said in after a couple of games that it's a job that deserves an elite coach that's got a track record of winning. Thomas has got that. I think now the bonus would be that we've increased, like I say, the pool of players. So the next squad will be a real challenge to pick, I'm sure. But exciting times ahead.
Now we're going all the way to the back. If you can throw it up. Thanks, Grace.
Thanks, Grace. Hi, Lee. You mentioned obviously the debutants and preparing them for the next manager coming in, but obviously just with my South London hat on, Mark Gay ended the game there with three players managing them in defence. How important is it for you as a coach as well to sort of manage that part of the game of players like Mark managing those three players that only had a cap before them before tonight? What did you see from Mark tonight in terms of leadership? How important is that part of the coaching role as well in the handover? Thank you.
Yeah, so I made Mark captain when he was in the under-21s. He's a player that shows leadership qualities throughout his career so far. His maturity, not only on the pitch but off the pitch. I think the players, and I think what we have to remember as well with the players that made the debuts tonight, they're Premier League players, which is very difficult to play in. So they held their own. But the fact that Mark is so calm and composed next to him, it's brilliant for. I think he's had a really good camp. I think he's playing really well as well at Palace in the games that I've seen. And he's really moved in the right direction in terms of his quality. And I think when he plays for England, he probably goes up another level as well. I think it just goes to show that I still think there's a lot more to come from Mark. I think obviously physically he's fast and he's aggressive, but on the ball I think he's excellent as well. So he just needs to keep improving. There's good competition for places in that centre back position, but Mark's definitely worthy of his position.
Lee, for the England team to develop and to grow from this experience of having you in charge for 6 matches and what you brought to the squad, there has to be learnings, there has to be development from this. So what are the big things that you've learned personally about this group, that you've learned about yourself as a manager, and that you've learned generally about the experience of being England manager?
Yeah, so it's I spoke about it in the first camp about like the comfort zone. So I've definitely felt like I've been out of my comfort zone, and I think it's, but not beyond what my capabilities. I think it's I've never felt at any point that I was drowning or I was struggling. I've took the confidence that for not only myself but the rest of the staff that we're okay, we'll be fine. I think we've probably got stronger as the windows have gone in terms of September, October, and finishing in November, which has probably been our strongest window and our probably most competitive one. So in terms of you always learn a lot about yourself when you're in a position that you're not used to. I think the most pleasing thing is obviously the younger players coming through, which I'm sure a lot of you now have seen for yourselves in an England shirt, the quality that they've got. But one of the most pleasing things is the way that the senior players have reacted to a new coach, even though it was from a short-term point of view. The respect that myself and the rest of the staff have been shown. We've tried to change things. We've tried to change or adapt or move on the style, the way that we play, the way that the control, the amount of possession we have, the amount of chances we create. We've tried to do all these kind of things, and there's been no resistance to that. If anything, they've took them on board what we're trying to do. But I think it helps that they've obviously watched and seen the 21s and the way that the 21s try and control and score goals. And so I think it's important then that myself and the staff now spend a good couple of days thinking about the 3 camps and what we could have done better. I'm still gutted about the Greece game at home. I still, even though we've won 5 of the 6, I straight away go to the game that I think we should have won at Wembley. It's definitely a lonely place in that dugout when you're not winning at Wembley. So, we'll keep improving and keep pushing the players and ourselves.
Finish your time here.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
You've spoken a lot about this comfort zone. Have you felt more comfortable in the job as you've gone along, or is it just one that you're never going to be, not you personally, it's just one that can never be comfortable? And with yourself, would you like to be at that top table as senior England manager one day in the future again?
Well, I think the positive thing is that we've showed as a staff that we can do it. I think it's always a positive thing when you have coaches in the building that are capable. I've enjoyed it. I think we spoke a little bit about it yesterday, didn't we? It is tough, and I suppose you get used to that awkwardness and that bit of nerves. In terms of you're constant. I'm sat in the house and I'm constantly thinking of the next camp and the next squad and who's playing well, and constantly watching Greece and Ireland and unhealthily watching the opposition, but that's the way I am, and that's where the rest of the staff are. I think it's the relief of getting promotion is a big thing. So maybe in a couple of days I'll look back at it and think it's been quite enjoyable.
Okay, guys, we'll end it there. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.